Hold on, I'm not
Too late.
100% What do you mean?
Is this for real?
Core server?
I just switched it over. Literally, we
We're
were
live right
doing
now?
so good.
Oh, we are live right now.
Oh, perfect.
And I just switched it. When you
Did you
said
miss
too
us?
late, I just hit the swap button. We had oh man. I just too late.
Hi, everybody.
You know what?
We're
New Year, same us.
back.
Am I right? New Year, same us?
It's on brand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least you know we don't
She
change.
feels right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey everybody. We are so happy to be back. New day, new time from 2023. Nevertheless, we all took some time to kind of get into the new year. A lot of us were going through some job changes, job shifts and responsibilities at home. So, but we're back again. We wanted to take a moment and pause and celebrate some of the fun stuff that some beans in our community have been accomplishing. So, Annabelle got a new job. Yay! Good job. Very excited for you. Jorge and Hannah got engaged. Jorge liked it, so he put a ring on it, and it's beautiful and it's fantastic. The video is posted, and it is everything. Jason is now teaching at Harrisburg University. I believe his teaching will start in the fall. Jason, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But congratulations on that push. You get to hang out with Tom, which I'm only slightly jealous of. And then very special big announcement since we've been off the air. Danielle, where you live now? Where you at?
Sari wrote this just so I would say it on camera. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. The rumors are true. You're welcome. I am a I can't even say it.
Come on, you gotta read the run of show beforehand so you can change the script if you don't like it.
I did read it. I thought I had it under control, but now I'm looking at you and I don't know that I can say it. So the rumors are true. I am a Floridian now. I'm now the director of esports at Florida Tech, and it's been 1 month. Just so you know, the sunshine is great. I absolutely love it. Very echoey in here. I don't have a couch yet, so but it's okay. I have a TV and my PC up, so. Also, a big reminder for those that, Cody, I still love you. For those that are not in the Discord, join the Discord. There's a lot going on, and it's also where you can see Jorge proposed to Hannah on TikTok. I really want that to go viral. I reposted it on my own TikTok. Everyone should repost it. It deserves it.
It's so cute.
It is super cute. Hannah's amazing. Jorge,
She's so
you're real
great.
lucky. You're really lucky, Jorge.
Jorge, man. He did the right move. He did the right thing. Well, today for the first topic that we have for this evening, we are going to be addressing one of the random 5,000 things that have gone haywire on Twitter since 2024 has started. And the one we want to address today is the topic of esports degrees. I don't want to give the original source of this conversation any more airtime than they've already gotten. So I won't even reference where it is or where to find it or the link. I'm going to say that if you are not familiar with what an advertorial is, it's when you can pay a publication to write an article that you want written, just like you would pay them to run an ad. And essentially what was out there was an advertorial. Someone paid to have this point made so they could get engagement for the thing that this sort of tied itself to or plugged itself into. And the main source of that topic was esports degrees are not legit. We can't have esports degrees. You're leading students into an industry that's non-existent, and there's a whole bunch of topics on it, even some going as far as to call them, a bit of a con, like real negative connotation to the concept of it. And in that, it sparked the debate. Unfortunately, on both sides. And it sparked the debate, yes, on the concept of esports as a career path, on the concept of esports as a path for learning and curriculum within the collegiate space. but also in the concept of higher education as a whole, unfortunately. That's really where the conversation led to. And we wanted to have an open dialogue here about our thoughts, feelings, your thoughts, feelings. We'd love to hear from you in chat. Specifically want to note Lindsay, who I think I saw is in chat, Linzor. She wrote a really phenomenal piece in response to the debate that was going out. And that is something that we will give more airtime to because it's well thought out, well researched, well written, and a brilliant perspective. You can check out Lindsay's posts hopefully soon when she gets into a comfortable place. She's going to be sharing with us on our website. So we're excited to be able to feature her more often. But highly recommend that positioning. But to start, esports degrees. Uh, Overarching theme to that was you can't have a degree in esports. You can't really teach it. This industry doesn't know what it needs and it's changing all the time and there's so many layoffs, so you can't really have an esports degree. If you're trying to have one, you're using it as a marketing ploy. Um, Anybody want to start or come to this? I feel like AJ's chomping at the bit.
I might be slightly involved in the conversation at hand. Yeah, so that article, I definitely gave it a glance. Don't want to say that I gave it the whole read through because it was kind of clear as to what its goals and intentions were. But throughout the discourse that we saw numerous folks go through on social media when it first hit, one of the things that really struck me the most was folks saying that, it would behoove them to go X degree and then just be able to apply that to whatever esports or gaming org that they were applying to at the time. Um, and they were, the skills are transferable. The skills are transferable. And I just think that if the skills are transferable in one direction, I'm not sure why they wouldn't be in the opposite direction. So somebody has, the course that I'm teaching is under game business and esports management. So it's essentially a business degree that does have a heavily lens looking through esports. And even if the students right after they graduate are not able to secure a job in the esports or gaming world, the skills that they've learned at their core are still transferable to other career opportunities that are out there. So I felt that sometimes folks were looking at it from I mean, I have a degree in sociology. I wouldn't say that I'm a practicing sociologist in any form. And most of us who are in the esports industry at this point in time, if we have degrees, none of them right now are in esports. So I don't know why we wouldn't create an opportunity for students to find a degree or find a path that they're really passionate about while they're in school, and be able to just continue to foster that.
I mean, I think JJ's putting in chat, and it's interesting as it goes. There's three of us. Oh, I have a political science degree. JJ has a political science degree, and Jason has a political science degree. And I have never worked a day in politics in my entire life. But yes, I learned a lot in school, and I still utilize things that I learned in school. If a political science degree is only to turn you into a politician, then that degree is wrong. And if an esports degree is only to turn you into a League of Legends team manager, then that degree is wrong. And that's the core of what education is as a whole.
I think people forget that, like, esports is not just esports. Like, if you look at an org chart, there's esports at the top, and then how many branches does it have? An esports degree is the exact same thing. A sports management degree, whoever posted on Twitter, they're like, I think it was actually Chris, St. Clair Chris, or someone posted, like, esports or sports management degrees are only 7 years old. And it's, oh, maybe it was Jono.
I think it was.
Okay. And it's the same thing. We're still in the infancy of degrees, and it's going to shout out Bennett here because he really pushed me into thinking a different way when it comes to jobs. And even just a little bit of experience is going to give you any type of experience. So getting an esports degree is not, I have an esports degree. What type of degree is it? Are you in broadcasting? Are you in journalism? Are you in management? Are you in PR? It's more than just one degree. And I hate that people just lump everything together. And it's so frustrating to me that the community that doesn't actually know about the education, they just harp on it's just a game. And it's getting so frustrating for me.
I hear that. Okay, let's see. This is what Tom's brilliance is entering the chat. 99% of the reason you do a business graduate degree is for the networking chance and the ability to use the network of your professors. And that makes complete and total sense. I think it's the fact that for some reason esports is getting looked at under this vein that every other industry in the world is not getting looked at with the same lens. I feel like it's like saying don't go get a graphic design degree because nobody's making magazines anymore and everything's going digital. No, that's not how that works. And it feels as though they're applying this thing to esports that says you can't teach people to do esports because the world is evolving and there are layoffs and things are changing. And it's well, then you shouldn't be in education. That your whole job is not to teach people to do a skill. There is skill-based training, don't get me wrong, and those skill-based trainings are super important. And if I'm teaching you how to use a tool, you need to leave, being able to know how to use a tool. But when you're pursuing a degree, you're doing so for the holistic approach on how you're going to learn, who you're going to be, how to establish yourself in a setting, how to work well with others, how to build a project with other members of your team, and get some subject matter expert experience on the topic at hand. And so I don't understand why that is getting such a negative view to this in esports when it hasn't anywhere else. At UCF, my alma mater, go Knights, charge on. I took a class called beverage management, and I learned how to taste beer, how to taste wine, how to mix a drink. And I think you could probably realize why I took this class, because I couldn't believe that my scholarship paid for it and I got paid and I would go and drink beer in class. But anyway, no one ever said a word about like, well, what's that class going to teach you? What's that going to do to set you up for success? Those things in hospitality management exist all day, every day, and no one questions a thing. No one says, well, how could you teach somebody to be a waiter? That's not what I'm teaching them. We're teaching them at the approach to hospitality management. And why is that well accepted? And for some reason, esports is not treated differently.
Danielle, I think I interrupted you. Were you going to say anything?
I was just going to say, I would argue to say Sari is already a politician of esports, but, I mean, it was already gone, so I was like, I can't really bring it back
Sorry
to
for
that.
president.
Yeah, I mean, she already is our politician, resident politician. I have a health science degree. I think most people know that at this point. If you don't,
So
I'm pretty loud.
my degree is in education leadership. So I have an educational degree, but I can't get a certain teaching license in Minnesota because it's stupid. That's a whole different tobacco. But I focused my entire degree after my first class, and I've said this so many times, on gaming and esports. So I think it's how you treat your assignments and how you're doing your research, you're writing your papers, you're gaining that knowledge that's in the now, because what I researched 5-6 years ago isn't as relevant or even relevant as it is now. I think just continuing to grow the scene for education, and that's what these degrees are doing. They're creating new pathways, they're creating new knowledge, and they're creating new RTOs. Like every semester, I swear, a new rule is added or a new system is added, and that's what we need. It's part of education.
What I don't think people realized when they were jumping on board with this conversation is that this point that they're making that they think is brilliant and that they think is this such crucial hot take that no one's ever thought of before is attacking higher education as a whole. And if you are not for higher education, more power to you. You do not have to be, but you are in the wrong industry. I hate to tell you this. And you might want to go find somewhere else to work, because the way the conversation that they were surrounding this approach is not the world that I have worked in for 18 years. You Are there people out there that are creating degrees that don't lend themselves to things that you can accomplish or aren't things that are employable? Yeah, and they don't exist anymore. And that's what happens. That's why regulation compliance exists. And that's the frustrating part about it. And it's the people that are saying, well, you don't need your esports degree to get your production and broadcasting experience. You can get it in a sports management degree. Well, why? You have more opportunity to do broadcasting for esports right now in a job than you do for sports. Main networks own sports, and that's that. With Until sports are more prominent in streaming services and their variety of things, there actually is a more breadth of an opportunity to do broadcast and production through esports efforts than anything else. And if someone took a sports production or sports management degree and went into esports production, you'd feel fine about that. But if they did it the other way around, somehow that's not okay with you. And so everything that you'd offer, or you bring to the conversation, I'd see it come up, and it's like, oh, well, understanding, communication skills and team leadership. Well, they can get that here. Well, you're now telling me someone's got to go take 9 different degrees, or they can take this one. And I find it to be awesome that the entrepreneurial spirit that accompanies people that are working in esports means that we don't get to walk into a room and have a production person and a communications person and our marketing person and our talent and our team management and our team leadership. We're that person for all of it. We have to know all of those areas to be successful in this industry. You're touching in all of those places. And that's why the beauty of an esports degree is it is taking the highlighted points of the various aspects that make up our industry and giving someone a concentrated education in that field to be able to be successful. And there is a tremendous amount of value in that, just as there is if you're going to work in TV production and that's the area that you want to go to. Awesome. Please see that pathway all the way through to completion, and that is an amazing place to be. But on the flip side, the breadth of what's offered in these esports focused curriculums and being able to understand the variety of what's associated with the all-encompassing esports event is such a valuable curriculum and such a valuable education, and what is making our industry better, quite frankly.
Well, so many of us wish we had a guidebook, right? So isn't this the guidebook of all the things we wish we had and didn't get? My former institution is enrolling students to get a master's degree in AI, which to me is very fascinating because AI is changing ridiculously fast. So, like, esports moves fast. I think AI moves even faster. So think about everyone who's getting educated and understanding AI in a year, 2 years. I feel like it's going to be so outdated that how do you keep up with something like that? Mm-hmm. So at least with this, there's guidance. It's all the things that we wish. If we don't educate people, then it's almost like, hey, you got to suffer with us because I had to learn without guidebook. It's basically like hazing in a weird, not fratty way. But you got to teach people.
I think we're also in a really niche group. Our community for collegiate and scholastic isn't that big. Most of the comments are held on Twitter. And if you go outside with that and ask people about an esports degree, they might not even have an opinion. They might be like, well, what's it entail? Or what are they learning? Instead of some of the haters who are just like, you're not going to get anything from this degree. People are going to look at your resume and be like, you have an esports degree? We're not even going to interview you. Well, I had an accounting degree and I couldn't get anyone to hire me. So it just goes back to everything that we've all been saying. And I think expanding beyond Twitter, I think people are actually more positive than and wanting to learn than some of the members of our ecosystem.
like it feels like they, I mean, this is probably the most obvious thing that anybody could say right now, but like it's like they say the stupidest things in the entire world because they want everyone to fight about it on Twitter. Like, and I just read it and I look at it and I'm like, are we, is that really what, do you mean, you really feel that way? You mean that? Or, oh, 489 replies. Never mind. You don't really feel that way. You just wanted to do a thing, have a thing.
Wanted to go viral. Something that Tom posted, a lot of what I've learned is that some degrees are really about capturing the audience of a community that wants to learn. Esports is a brilliant space for kids that don't fit either game development or comp sci. I That resonates with me as well because we already are so aware that the students that are involved in esports programs usually aren't like it's a ridiculous like 80% of them are not involved in any other curricular activities that are on campus. So we've gotten to the point where lots of programs are out there now. Many of them have sort of hit their stride and have been established for a couple of years. But if we're wanting to make sure that we're able to keep the student engaged, like holistically throughout their entire academic livelihood while they're at your institution, the esports program is great. It gives them community. It gives them, if they're competing, it gives them teamwork skills, critical thinking, communication, like all of that and a bag of chips. But also, you want to make sure that that student is engaged academically as well. So, if we can give them all of the tools in the tool belt that we have garnered and that the esports industry overall has garnered over the years, if we're able to look at the thought leaders, if we're able to make sure that curriculum stays up to date, which with a lot of what Sari was referencing before, like degrees have to be audited just to make sure that the institution maintains its accreditation. So these degrees are constantly getting audited every year, most of the time, especially if they're new degrees. So there's not going to be a lot of opportunities where, yes, esports is growing quickly, but the degrees are able to be agile. Like you can create a course and change the content very easily, right? As long as you stay within the parameters of what you need to and the KPIs that you need to hit for your institution's program goals, but you're able to introduce and talk about current events. You're able to retweak different content if you need to. Like you can be agile. I know it sounds crazy that one can be agile in education, but when it comes to the content of a course, it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think the subsidiary of Esports EDU has also had a big uptake in the recent years from the K through 12 space, which I'm currently in and I'm loving it, but it's also so fucking frustrating. And collegiate beyond, continuing education, certificate programs, and so how do we keep Esports EDU space authentic and helpful? How do we help students find the right paths for their future?
I think here, when we were kind of talking about topics we were going to discuss and how we were going to address this, is we're not ignorant to the fact that there absolutely are grifty people in the esports EDU space. We see them all the time. We deal with them all the time. No, unfortunately, we're not that the area of education and esports is not immune to the buzz of esports and people jumping in and people really wanting to make something of it. We didn't want to just come in and paint the picture like, of course, esports degrees are the best. We all love them because we work in esports. Thanks, bye, conversation over. There is a negative part to the education sphere. And as leaders within any sort of education space, in where we are, whether it's K-12 or collegiate, we have an obligation to our students to lead them in the right way. And just kind of helping to sort through where are these legitimate experiences and who is maybe trying to really profit off of the hype and the buzz of what's going on right now, and who is sort of using esports to forge their new career path in their second half of their education career without really investing in it or without really understanding it.
Does anyone still use Spin or Stay Plugged In? Does anyone know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you
Not for Florida Tech.
did you like it? I stopped investing in them when they wanted to up their fees, which is, just like some of the free leagues that we see, you have to have a price tag on it to keep operating. So I don't see it as a bad thing. And I see them on Twitter all the time. But I think how we can help students is by directing them to some of the better orgs and platforms so they can showcase their skills. Because I feel like there's just still so many students that don't even know about the education they can get and the pathway between high school and college hasn't been fixed yet. It hasn't. I know a lot of people are working on it, but we're still not even halfway to like an all knowledge of here's esports and here's degrees and here's how students can go to a college that they want to.
Yeah.
Stay Plugged In paid for more, the higher tier. But the last two recruits that I got from Stay Plugged In, one of them was already admitted and accepted. So like, I paid money for them that they were already going to my school. And then the other one decided not to come last minute, but went all the way through the whole process and paid the deposit and things like that. I think it's interesting platforms like that because you don't need them. You could just reach out. For me, specifically at a school like that, or even the new school, it's still going to be a specific type of student that goes there that fits within the metrics of that type of school. It's kind of similar to Full Sail, where you're not. I don't care about their skill level. That's not what is going to make them succeed at a school like that. Um, so, like, you have to want to go to the school that I'm at. Finding them on Stay Plugged In really wouldn't work, right? And combines aren't. They don't. There's not a GPA sitting above their head, right? So that's the thing I need to know. Would need to know at combines. Cool, they're great. They're great at the game. They loved us. They loved everything about our school. They have a 2.1. Like, it's not, that's the hard part for those. And again, I mean, it's self-report too. So, but they're free platforms. Every time I would go to a MySIF type of thing, not JSEL, not MySIF, Michigan in their separated thing, I would always advocate in the middle of the room, like, sure, you can pay for Stay Plugged In, or you can email us, every single one of us sitting up here, and we'll also tell you what school you should look into if it isn't my school. What if you wanted to what if you wanted political science, right? I can tell you other schools you could go to for poli-sci degrees, but they don't. I don't know if they're afraid to. My other problem with that it's not like the bridge. It's just including parents in the process too. I had a very hard time always including parents, not because I didn't want to do it. It's because the students wouldn't include their parents.
I think something else that we can do to help students, and I know that this is difficult, if I'm thinking what can collegiate do to help kind of build down, and I know it's difficult with some coaches and directors, they might be the only ones running their program. I know that there's still programs that are operating out there like that, but I do think in the times that you do have availability, summers, winter breaks, things like that, where students may not be around as often and you do have a little bit of breathing room, I think that's really the time to get keyed into the admissions side of your institution, the student life side of your institution. Anybody that might have direct outreach to students, folks within the community, just to try to help garner interest for esports. Whether you've got a degree program or not, you can throw that in the conversation as well. But I think that there's so many things that go on a campus that the admissions department doesn't always they don't always get updated in a timely fashion. So if you go down there to the admissions office yourself, literally like, hi, in person, no emails, right? You go in person, introduce yourself, and be able to, give them papers and give them flyers that they can hand out when they're on school visits with your information, email, Discord, what have you. Um, I think the ability to just connect with the other departments on campus that have direct outreach into the community, that just also makes your job a little bit easier because they go to a school, they say, hey, we have esports. Kid in the class is like, oh, wow, I'm really interested in that. I would love to learn more. Bada bing, bada boom. They have really helped you get a potential recruit at that point in time. So it's really a great idea to get more involved in the other departments on campus.
Things that I also want to add with MHSCL group is they combine high school and collegiate leaders, and that's really nice because what that does is, you know, gives us a bridge and they understand who we are. So the last event, I knew I was already leaving for Florida at that point, but I went to it. Um, and it was nice because we were able to meet a bunch of high school coaches and kind of tell them what our program's about, tell them what games we competed in, um, just literally creating relationships. Same, most, I guess, women congregated together, so I knew quite a few that of there. So if more groups could create something like that, and I think it might have to be within a state or a county or something like that to create a better working relationship. Because I think I mean, about a year ago, I tried to have a Zoom and I got turned down because they thought I was all recruiting only specifically to Lawrence Tech that I was working at. The whole entire state of Indiana. I will say it at this point because now I'm in Florida. So, and that's not what the goal was. It was literally just to be like, hi, I'm Danielle. Nice to meet you. What do you do? What do you go to school for? What do you like to do? If you have any kids, send them to me. They don't have to pay for Stay Plugged In. That was the entire intention. Hey, this is Sari. You know, every single person that was there, that was the intention. And but I don't know how to break that barrier between the two worlds.
It's actually hard working in the K through 12 space. I've been trying to get some of our schools and clubs to go to some of the colleges, and we're almost there, but there's so many the barriers that I have to go through just to get a group of students to attend a college. And is it during the day? Is it afterwards? How many parents are needed? Does this a teacher need to be there? Who's going to pay the teacher? Is the teacher excused for the day? Who's going to pay for the sub? Who's going to pay for the bus? Who's going to get permission slips? Because these are all minors. It's just one thing after another. I'm like, okay, slow down. Let me think this through again. I think we're going to... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the county that I formerly lived in, that I would go to schools.
Yeah.
Walk. Yes, they can come to me. We can talk. How about I come to you and talk, and then you get a field trip pass and just use the esports arena for fun, and then you say it's an education, and I'll throw admissions in there so that way you can. That was kind of the avenue I always tried to take, and it worked for a couple schools, but it does sometimes when I'm like, hey, I want to go talk. They're like, oh, just send me a flyer about your program. I'll let people know. And I'm like, they are 16 years old. They're not reading a flyer.
I think.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say I think we're gonna see a lot more like certificates and professional development programs pop up again. I feel like we had some, and then they dropped off right away because people were just like, these are not right. This was very poorly made. But now we're seeing some more. I'm gonna plug Fit Gamer because I went through their coaching one, and I learned a lot. I also gave them really, I think, crucial feedback because they got their program information from Cloud9, and so it was basically off of a pro team. And while that had still really useful information, not everything translated into collegiate. And the same thing goes for high school. Not everything does. So I think they need to fine tune that just a little bit. But I think we need to take the time to actually go through some of these programs and see if they're legit, because if we just say that a program's bad without actually going through to ourselves, then we're just hopping on the negative train and we're just doing what Twitter exploded with. This is horrible. This is so bad. We shouldn't do that. It's like, well, do you have personal experience with that? Have you actually gone through that program? What's so bad about it? Let's try and bring out a positive instead of it and try and do better.
Okay, so that we didn't even plan this, but it segues into what I was going to say. So it was worked out perfectly. But knowing that certificate programs are kind of starting to pop up, and I've seen it too, and I feel it coming too. Knowing that portion of it, knowing that we have a disconnect at the high school level specifically, I won't say K through 12, we'll start with high school level, and the bridge between high school and collegiate, and just kind of understanding how that path can go, and that we still have a global, concern with just helping people understand the legitimacy of this industry and what it is that we're doing, and really, all encompassing agree to support it. These folks that are popping up in these certificate programs or in these things, what would you like to see? What would you like to see a certificate program that teaches, that can help facilitate or plug some of these gaps that are within the industry or within the education that we're seeing?
So I'm helping write one right now for an org. I don't know if I can say it, so I'm not gonna.
Okay.
But I'm helping write a course that's 7 sections for my part, but my section is players and staff meetings. All the sections are very 101 base for new incoming either students who just graduated that are moving into higher jobs, or for people who are getting pushed into a position that they have the gaming experience, or they played, or they just registered to be an advisor. So it's very 101 stuff, and the next level of that after they go through all these courses is going to be a deeper dive into more specifics of those 7 models. I think is what they explained it to me, which I think is needed because it breaks it down. While I don't always like 101 stuff, I do when it's properly produced, and I hope I'm doing it justice, but I feel like it's gonna be a great way to showcase 101 stuff and then dive the next course into a deeper end.
I like that.
Yeah, so with the esports certificates and things like that, I also think if you would like to, again, we're definitely promoting some due diligence. So look up what's included in the course, maybe look up who are the brains behind the course, look up who's launching the course, who was involved with it. I think those are all really insightful steps to take. The reason that I have eyebrows today, if anybody noticed, is because literally spent the beginning of today filming some content for additional certificates to be launched by Full Sail that are mini versions of the program that I teach on a normal everyday basis. So that certificate in particular has a collegiate side from my point of view, and then it also has a pro side from Burns. Shout out to Burns. So again, if you're looking at what the course content, just go on their website, look at what the courses entail, look at that price tag. Also, prices can be you can be bamboozled. So be sure to look at that price tag, look at the folks that have contributed to the coursework as well. Taking all of those steps so we don't push out the esports certificates, because again, there are folks on this train that some folks on this train that are like, we shouldn't have esports degrees, but we should have esports and education through varsity programs instead. It's like it's two ships, what, two ships in the night, passing through the night, whatever that phrase is. It almost feels kind of like that to me.
That's exactly what it is.
I think we need to listen to the students too. Like, how many of your programs were students like, hey, where can I get extra experience in casting? Or, hey, how can I learn how to create social media content? And it's almost the same as is communications, but I feel like the graphics that you make for esports is a little bit different. The kind of banter that you go back and forth between schools is going to be a little bit different, but it's almost the same. And so why not just ask the students what they want and work around them? I mean, that's what we're here to, is to help educate them. And if there's not a need for it, which there obviously is, then we wouldn't all want to push for it.
Yeah. I agree in that I love the idea of like certificate programs being a drill down into the specificness of something, of some area of esports. Like, right? So if I'm getting a general business degree and then I want to take a certificate that's specific to broadcasting, that gives me, 6 months worth of focused curriculum on exactly what I need to know to set up a broadcast. Then that is what supplements my education instead of replaces it, and I think that even starting in these people that are developing curriculum for high school levels or through collegiate or through professional, the idea of being able to supplement the education that you do have with something that you want to dive further into is, again, something that helps in other industries and something that I think would be existing here. I have, like we mentioned, my bachelor's degree in pre-law political science, and then my MBA, and then I have my PMP, which is your project management professional. It's like a certification. That's what that is. That's the drilled down focus of one area of my degree that I wanted to get more experience in. I got my PMP. That's what a CPA is. That's what all of these individual certifications are. This is a thing that I went to school for this, but I really want to do this. So I want to supplement and add to my education by elevating what I've already done with something further. Again, that's infrastructure that exists in the education system and has been working for centuries. So let's have the same apply with esports and in that space and drill down further the things that we want to do. I would like for the folks that are trying to offer me a 4-month certificate program for $25,000 that's going to cover everything from coaching to broadcasting to PR to writing to this to that. Oh, team play. I'm going to be the best Magic the Gathering player ever, and I know how to throw a community event. I find that to be disingenuous, and I find that to not be setting students up for success, and I find that to be diluting what we're all trying to do in the bigger picture. And do those things exist? Yes, they exist, just like they exist in other areas. You see people on infomercials all the time sell you a $3,000 weekend seminar at a DoubleTree hotel outside of Dallas on how to sell real estate. You don't have to go to that seminar. You could just go online and get your real estate license. But these people don't know that. This world has existed for far longer than where we are. They should not be here, just like people should not be in our esports space. But we're not calling the DoubleTree outside of Dallas people that are leading a seminar educators. And that's where we just need to make sure we have that separation. Is there profiting with infomercials, and people are doing that in this space too. So let's not lump them all together.
DoubleTree gives you cookies, right?
They do have those cookies, and they're really good cookies.
Yeah, I know.
Light refreshments.
That's where Florida Tech put me up on the ocean.
I also want to make sure it's clear that in my prior life, my prior job before I ever worked at Full Sail, I was an event planner where I planned real estate seminars that you an infomercial at the DoubleTree outside of Dallas. I literally did that. That was
No
not
way.
a story. That was actually my job.
It's true. It's a real thing.
So it's real.
Stamp of approval. Sari, the politician, esports politician.
We also have a lot of vouchers for these DoubleTree cookies, and they are very good.
Yeah. Can we just go there just to get a cookie? Sorry, I promise I'm staying in 302.
Mm-hmm. I was coming. What is Sari coming for throats? What was I doing?
Everything.
Not gonna lie. Thought Sari was just coming for the throats, like talking smack. You were letting him cook.
Oh, is that what that means? Coming
Yeah.
for throats?
Like, yeah, taking you out, kicking ass and taking names, Sari.
Okay.
Ready to cut people.
Well, I got that Riz. No.
Good job.
Aw.
Did I just explain Gen Z talk to you?
I think it's Gen Alpha talk.
I don't think she's Gen Alpha. I think she's Gen Z.
Um.
I'm
Okay.
millennial and you're Gen X.
I'm Gen X. Yes. Cody. Cody's done with me. Okay, so we wanted to. We're totally pivoting off of the run of show at this point. But we are really excited about a couple of really great topics that we have kind of coming down the pipeline. For the next couple of episodes, and we wanted to highlight a couple of those for you, if we could. Oh my God! Look, wait, did that work? Wait, you know what? Pay no attention to the screen. Okay, I'm just gonna do voiceover work. Today we had esports degrees, yay or nay. Also, what I love the most about some of these are the names. So we're really gonna highlight this. Don't follow the dancing graph. We have how to not let bad apples spoil the bunch. So, carrying on the conversation of the grifters, the folks who are in our space that are speaking for us without we wanting them to. How do we kind of navigate those types of things? We have a really great session that we're excited about on how to manage yourself as an independent contractor in gaming and esports. We keep seeing a lot of chatter in the world about people not sending invoices or people not knowing kind of where to go. And we're hoping that we can help that. Hey, is this confirmed?
Yeah.
Guest speaker?
Yep.
Cool.
He just confirmed today.
Screech is going to be our guest speaker for that episode and help us all through it. You heard it here first. It's going to be great. You're not going to want to miss it. Then the content that we have that I think is a big thing that everybody always asks is how can I get more involved? So that's really what we're going to talk about here. These are the direct ways to get involved. Not like bullshit, vague, well, contact this person and make sure you listen and make sure you go to your local LAN center. We're going to talk really about how to get involved. And then the other area that we have, that's our coffee house chat where we've got a big group coming in, is the concept of job hopping.
I totally forgot to put the thing on it.
How to know when it's time to leave. How to not feel trapped because what you built may fail if you leave. Another weird Twitter topic that kind of came up, and we really want to talk through when you should leave a job if it's not the right job for you, and how you shouldn't stay in a job just because you've built something and you feel like it's going to fail. If you leave, that's not going to help anybody. This other thing that you can look forward to in Q2 that's not on the graphic, but I'm just going to highlight because I was so proud of the way we phrased it. You guys, it's about hot takes. Why hot takes are cold for innovation. Yes, that's right. You're going to want to keep tuning in to our streams here because we really do a big deep dive on those upcoming conversations.
Sari's going to host an event at the DoubleTree in Dallas, outside of Dallas.
You guys all just have to pay me.
They have cookies.
And you know what? Normally it's $3,000, but for you all here tonight, $2,995. That's it. One time only, exclusive content. Make sure you show up. Yeah, I'll have one single gaming chair on the stage so it shows you that I'm legit, I belong here. I'll wear a jersey that's not really for any sort of esports team in particular, but I'll be wearing the jersey so it shows that I'm connected to my community. I'll
Says
probably wear it with some
player on
dress
the back.
shoes, you know. I'll just like keep the whole vibe going.
I want to say thank you to everyone that are subs this episode. We had an all-time height.
Yeah, we had
I
a hype train,
yes,
a level 2.
hype
We
train.
we no, we had a like hype train of level 1. So
Yeah. So we'll do. We are not keeping money. We're gonna bless the world in some capacity. Um, but for now, thank you. You're awesome. Oh well, Caitlin, you're awesome. That was like your cue. Everybody subscribe at one. Should have let
Right.
the Dallas hostess announce that one.
Yeah, AJ is we can jump back in if you feel comfortable jumping back in.
to what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, you gotta talk.
Oh yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah.
I'm working on.
And now I'm also the screen I have up for some reason is the stream screen. So I'm looking at it and I am confused because she's looking at me, but I'm 1 second behind her, so I'm not responding or reacting.
Okay, we're gonna see if this works. You go do your thing, and I'm gonna press a button. And I'm gonna see if it works.
Okay. Yeah. So, I will also be launching Gremlin's Coffee Corner. So, what I hope to accomplish with this is the opportunity to just get some of the women within our space highlighted in a better capacity. One of the things that I think we have all felt from different awards that have popped up within the past couple of months up until very recently, that we just need to be able to better tell our stories. So I want to be part of that charge and be able to help with that. So if you're interested in being on that, it's going to be like probably every other week that we have our normal esports and coffee chats. It's definitely just going to be us chatting, learning more about you, your likes, your dislikes, your goals, your dreams. So if you'd like to hang out with me, be a part of that, let me know. Send me a message. And I'm really excited about getting that off the ground this year.
We're just gonna do this. It didn't work. I tried to be fancy and
Go.
put up our actual website, but I couldn't figure out how to get to that tab. We're doing this live, okay? And
We're doing it live.
we're doing it live. So
We're doing it live.
I also do want to mention, and I don't know how to, because I was trying to make it work. I'll get it figured out next time. On our website, we do now have our cork board, our coffee cork board. So we're looking to share more articles, pieces of work for those in the space and showcase our amazing community and provide a space for those who are creating, crafting, building, and things. And on the first page we have there is Cora Kennedy and her published works of DEI and everything that she has on there. This goes directly to her site, so we're just sharing articles and creating a space. I can't.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then one more thing, because we went out of order and we feel like we need to mention it, but we, Esports and Coffee, are a finalist for the Game Hers Awards for organization with the best DEI initiative. That's the category. I think I got the whole thing right. And we're very excited. We've got some other great people in the category as well, including our friends at Community, who have always been really big supporters of ours. So we're really excited to be a finalist alongside of them. But we will find out on March 1st if we won. But either way, we're happy just to be nominated. Is that what we're supposed to say?
We
don't care if we win. We're happy to be finalists. But we're just really happy to be finalists. And so thank you for getting us here.
We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll invite you to the DoubleTree.
For cookies.
I'm telling you, maybe we'll have a convention at a DoubleTree now.
Huh.
They'll sponsor us because you used to do it before.
Esports and Coffee Conference Convention. at the
All you
DoubleTree.
can eat cookies. You just gotta buy the milk or soy milk, whatever you're.
Bring your own milk.
Cody keeps saying she's gonna make
BYOM.
us cookies.
Cody, I trust you, but I don't know what they do with those cookies at DoubleTree.
Because they're also like kind of crispy on the outside, but then still soft on the inside, you know? It's not
Warm?
just the taste, it's like everything about it.
It's the experience.
It is the experience.
Yeah, and it's, it's great. I don't know. That was my first experience, but, am I supposed to say, are we all out of coffee?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Hey, ladies. No, I can do this right. Back it up. Okay. We came in wrong, and we're going out even wronger. So, thank you for your patience. While we got ourselves situated in this new year and this stream, we'll be back together like 5% better. Like, we'll still be the same though. Like, that's part of our quirk, right? We're really excited to keep growing along with all of you, but for now, I think we're all out of coffee.
I have a little left.
All out of coffee.
All out of coffee.
Thanks for tuning in, friends. We appreciate everyone that came in and chatted with us today.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, wait.